Not gonna stress, not gonna make a mess. Oh.
Take that ember, that spark that brought you to yoga, however long ago that was, and keep it burning bright, because you, my friend, are destined to be on fire. You're strong, and you're getting stronger every single day, and that's the beauty of your yoga. You're getting stronger in your body and in your mind too. Maybe that's the most important thing. Your yoga gives you such a great joy for life. It really does. Try it and you'll see. Hi, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is Piper. That's Bonnie. And this is your yoga from home. All right, we practice live every single day for 1 hour. Now, maybe you can't stick around for the whole hour. That's totally fine. Maybe you only stick around for 10 minutes. That's all right. The fact that you come to your mat and give it a little bit of a go is very important. It makes all the difference in the world. And every one of our practices is different every single day. Some days they're vinyasa flow, some days they're restorative, some days they're like today, Yoga Plus, where we use weights, we use a bender ball, and we just get into our practice, combining barre, Pilates, sculpt, and of course, the foundation, yoga. Choose what's right for you. Do what's right for your body, the bottom of the screen says. The biggest thing is don't hurt yourself. Your poses may not look like mine, totally fine. What you're going for is the feeling in your body. You want to feel the good stretches. You want to feel the breath working to make your body feel good. Nothing else. Doesn't matter how it looks. Truly, it really doesn't matter. Don't hurt yourself. Take a pose to a lesser percentage. Skip a pose. Oh my gosh, no big deal. It's just yoga. No, just let it go. All right, and as you practice today, think of this word, and the word is dynamic. Dynamic. All right, there you go. Dynamic means think energy, right? Think effective action, think vigorous, active, forceful, energetic, and full of life. And that's what you want to be, full of life. You only got one of them, live it. All right, your props, like I said, the blocks, your bender ball or slow-mo ball, just a squishy ball, couple of hand weights, whatever size you want. Eye shade, if you want for final Shavasana, you can always use a towel for that too. And that's it, that's all you need. Have some water nearby. Let's come on up to standing and let's start our practice. We're gonna move today. It's not like a restorative practice where we're down on the mat and we do like 5 or 6 poses for the entire hour. Today, we are moving. Come on up to a standing position. Let's get this party started. Lock in a stress number on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. What's going on in your head? Lock in that stress number and let's start. Let's get the blood flowing. All right, feet a little wider than hip width distance apart. You can have a chair here if you want for support, totally fine. You can sit in the chair and do most of this practice. Just do the practice. Hands to your hips. Send your shoulders back and down. Take a deep breath in. This confidence pose feels so good. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And a big sighing breath out through your mouth. Let it go. All right, let's come on up onto the balls of our feet. So you're gonna find your foundation here. Your feet, your foundation, so important for all you do. Your feet, your glutes, those big muscles in your backside, very important. In fact, I posted a pretty good article in our group, Friends of 316 Yoga. It's on Facebook, it's private. If you wanna join, just send a request and I'll put you in there. It's an article about your glutes and how you gotta keep those big muscles strong, because they're so important for your stability, for your balance, for keeping you strong, keeping you healthy, helping you prevent injuries. All right, you're coming up onto the toes and down. Maybe stay up a little bit longer on the toes. Just shake it up a little bit. Find your foundation and feel comfortable in your feet. Maybe rock onto the heels a little bit and lift your toes up and give them a wiggle. And when you're ready, let's plant the feet. Send your arms high up to the sky. Interlace your fingers. Let's do palm tree. Palms up to the sky. Little bend in the elbows if that feels good. Everybody's different. And start to sway from side to side. And like I said, you could be seated in a chair. You know what feels nice if you're seated in the chair is to have the block underneath your feet. So your thighs are raised up, your knees are in line with your hips. That feels pretty good. But if you don't like it, do what you like. All right, so we're swaying side to side. This is lateral flexion of your spine. Doesn't have to be big bends. You decide how far you want to go. And then let's finish here. Hands to your low back. Put your hands at your low back and push your belly really, really far forward. As you do that, squeeze your elbows toward your spine and look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Look there and then maybe look even higher overhead. Take this little back bend, pushing and supporting your low back, pushing it forward. Exhale. Let it go. Let it go. Bend forward. Let your arms hang toward the earth. Let your gaze go back toward your knees. It makes a difference. Arms are heavy, hanging toward the earth. They don't have to touch. Don't even worry how close they are. It's no big deal. Put a little bend in your knees. You want to feel goodness in your low back. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Sigh it out through your mouth. Let it go. Don't worry about how the pose looks. Don't worry about thinking, oh, I can't go far enough. Oh no, stop there, body. Get your head out of the way. Close your eyes maybe and just let it happen. Inhale, rise on up. Sweep your arms on up to an extended mountain pose. Take a big breath in. And the shoulder softening, exhale. Make it audible, Pam. Make it audible so Betty can hear you. Take a big breath in. You girls are practicing together. Lengthen up here. Hi, Liz. Hi, Tyrone. Hi, Stan. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Diane. Hi, Marietta, Kelly, Rita, Tina, Tim, Margaret, Steve, Scott. How are you guys? Lift. Reach. All right, let's do arm circles. Tee out your arms. Start to draw little circles with your fingers toward the back of the room. Add in your knees. Bend them and straighten them. Bend them and straighten them. Like anything, if you don't use it, you lose it, right? Breathe. Breathe. All right, I think this is an interesting story. How do I tell this? All right, so there's a school that does autopsies and allows you to observe the autopsies of individuals to see how the body functions and how it moves and what maladies people develop over the years. There was a truck driver who sits all the time, right? You truck driver, you sit, keep those knees moving. And it's a truck driver who sits a lot, way too much. And the muscles, the fascia that we talk about when we do toes pose, the fascia that's all through your body, that webbing, go ahead and do your circles in the other direction. The fascia along his ribs had adhered his ribs, lungs to his ribs, so his breathing was very constricted. So, if you sit too much, you're gonna lose it. If you don't move your body enough, you're gonna lose the ability to move it. So breathe. Deeply. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. All right, come on up to standing. Arm circles and knees feel really good. Let's take our hands to that I Dream a Genie pose and let's do ragdoll pose. All right, stand up nice and straight. Exhale, fold forward. Let the crown of your head hang toward the earth. Put a little bend in your knees. Start to sway your elbows back toward one knee then the other. Ragdoll pose, such a great pose for decompressing the tension in the low back. I could do this pose for the entire rest of the practice. What about you? All right, that's the thing. If something is speaking to you, don't feel like you got to keep up or do the poses I'm doing. If it's speaking to you, stick with it and do it longer. I'm going to come back to the midline of my body. I'm going to release my fingers to the mat. I'm going to roll on up, chin tucked to my chest, all the way up, big coat swing. Great little controlled twist here. Arms hang down by your sides, twist. Look over one shoulder, then the other. Breathe. As you let it out, really deepen your twist. Look over one shoulder, then the other. Let it go. Arms are heavy. The momentum in the movement of the arms comes from just your twisting. Arms are just hanging down there. Important to have this controlled twist. So, if you slip or, lifting a heavy bag of dog food or something, if you twist, you're not going to tweak your back as much because your body knows, hey, I can twist that way because I do yoga. All right, let's finish up. We got a lot to do today, so let's come on down to our mats. Bend your knees, fold forward. Let your arms hang toward the earth. Walk your hands down to your mat and come on down to your knees. Let's take a child's pose. You can use a block if you want to bring the ground up to you a little bit. All right, here's the deal. Knees can be together, big toes touching, hips back towards your heels. Feel the extension of the back again. Feels good in the low back. Bottom is towards your heels. Arms can be down by your sides, with or without a block, underneath your forehead. Hold on here. Lengthen. Don't think that you can't do it, because you can do it. Bring your forehead down to your mat. It doesn't matter how it looks. What matters is how it feels. Think of extension through your low back. The option I'm going to take today is a wide-legged child's pose. Knees spread wide, big toes touch, hips back to the heels, arms reaching long to the top of the mat. Again, your forehead can come down to your block, whatever height you like, or all the way down to your mat. Breathe in, breathe out. We're going to come back to this wide-legged child's pose in a little while, and it's going to feel really, really good. It feels really good now, but it's going to feel really, really good in a few minutes. Press into your hands a little harder if you are in this extended child's pose. Think of your spine lengthening and your tailbone going to the bottom of your mat. Breathe in, sigh it out. Shake your head a little bit, massage your forehead into the mat. You can put a bend in your knees if you like. You can increase the distance between your, you can put a bend in your elbows. That's what I meant to say, if that feels better. You can increase the distance between your knees, or you can decrease the distance between your knees. Make it feel good. The feeling we're going for here is lengthening in the spine. Tailbone should feel pretty good. Knees are getting a nice bend, so are the ankles. Take a deep breath in, close your mouth, and breathe in and out of your nose only. The most efficient way to breathe is through the nose. Lips closed. You breathe any way you like, though, if this doesn't work. Just take your deep breaths, full breaths in and full breaths out. Child's pose, return to it anytime you like, or stay in it longer. I'm gonna come to a neutral tabletop. All right, in this neutral tabletop, I'm gonna stretch my forearms. Another thing we do way too much is we're on our keyboards. Too much. Bring your fingertips, or your fingertips back towards your knees, and then rock your hips from side to side. Feel this nice stretch in your forearm, the front of your arm, shining forward. Hips from side to side. Just move a little bit. Move a little bit. Makes a big difference. Maybe send your hips back a little more toward your bottom and stretch out the forearms. Fingers spread wide. Maybe take it even farther. Maybe you want to pop on up to the fingers. Maybe that feels good in your forearms, or maybe you don't like it. Don't do it if it's painful. If it's just uncomfortable, breathe through it and find the goodness in it as you deepen the stretch. All right, let's finish here. Bring your hands back to a natural position. Sit back on your heels and just kind of wiggle your hands a little bit and shake them out. There you go. There's your forearm stretch. All right, next thing is toes pose and an ankle stretch. Let's use these blocks here. All right, bring the blocks by your sides. Come into your toes pose. Hold on to the blocks. They've brought the ground up to you. Tuck your toes under and then have a seat back on your heels. No blocks? You can do it without the blocks. No big deal. Just sit back on your heels. If you got the blocks, you can walk them back. Sit back here, send your shoulders back, and relax into the toes. This is where you hold a lot of tension, right? I mean, you're really holding onto your feet. You're thinking, ooh, that's gonna hurt. I don't wanna do it anymore. Try to let it go. If it's painful, come out of it. There's a difference between pain and discomfort. Distinguish it. If it's painful, come out of it. Maybe hinge forward a little bit. But if it's not painful, if it's just uncomfortable, sit back, let it be. All right, so your feet, lots going on down there. 26 bones, 33 joints, 19 muscles, and 107 ligaments. So much going on, right? They're complicated, they're fascinating, but they are your foundation. It's critical to have strong feet and ankles. Let's take these blocks, walk them forward, put the tops of your feet on your mat, and sit back and pop your knees on up. Let's go back and forth a few times. Tuck your toes under, push into your toes, the ball of your feet. Come on back and come on up to your ankles. So stretch it out here. You don't have to use the blocks. You can just use your hands. Back and forth. Maybe you've got a towel that you've put under your knees to make it more comfortable. Whatever works, works. Work it. All right. So back and forth. few times. I don't think I've given my ankles enough of a stretch, so I'm gonna come back into that ankle pose. And you know, you can balance here if you want. Lift your knees on up, hands to prayer center. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let it go. There you go. You did it. Let's come into a cat-cow pose. Come to a neutral tabletop. Lift your feet up. Squeeze and scrunch your toes. Circle your ankles around and around, both directions, and tap the tops of your feet out on your mat. Neutral tabletop, feet are still, hands are pressed into the mat, and so are the tops of your feet. Lengthen up. Exhale, tuck your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under, arch your back up to the sky like a cat. Inhale, cow, just the opposite. Such a great pose for mobility in your spine. All right, Joseph Pilates said you are as young as your spine is flexible. As you're exhaling the air out of your lungs, tuck your navel towards your spine, arch your back up because you're pushing into your feet and your hands pretty strongly here. And then do the opposite, cow pose. And he also said, to expound on that comment, if you are 30 and you are stiff and your spine is inflexible, you are old. If you are 60 or 70 or 80 and your spine is flexible and mobile, then you are young. There's a lot of truth to that, isn't there? If you are flexible and mobile and comfortable and can do the things you enjoy, it doesn't matter what the calendar says, right? Send your right leg long. Press the ball of the foot onto the mat. Press it and stretch out the leg here. We're gonna do cat pulling its tail. All right, lift the leg up, maybe pulse it up a little bit, keeping it nice and long. Cross that lengthened leg through across the midline of the body. Bend the knee and send your left hand around to meet the right foot behind your body. Kick into your hand. Feel your left shoulder open up. And maybe look over that left shoulder, or at least look to the left side of your mat. Kick harder. And then finish. Hand comes down, knee comes down. Let's do the other side. Extend your left leg long. And when you're ready, bend the knee. Bend the knee, kick yourself in the bottom a little bit. Maybe extend the leg and pulse it up a little bit. Feel the compression in the low back. Feel the strengthening of the low back. Reach your hand around. Capture with your right hand the left foot as it crosses the midline of your body. Look over your right shoulder and breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. You got it. Strong. Yes, you are. And you're getting stronger every day. Every move, every practice. Don't quit. Don't give up. Come back to your neutral tabletop and find the ball. If you don't have a ball, no big deal. You can still do this pose quite effectively. We're going to do our fire hydrant pose. Place the ball behind your right knee. Tuck the toes toward the shin. It helps you hold on to the ball. If you don't have a ball, no problem. Start to lift the ball to the right side of the room. You could also do this with your weight behind your leg. It's not as much fun. It doesn't feel as good. And I always worry I'm gonna drop it. All right, so you're lifting the leg to the side of the room like a dog on a fire hydrant. You can be a little dog, you can be a big dog. Just keep lifting. Hold it up to the sky now and pulse it up, up, up. Bring your knee, your ankle higher than your knee. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Finish. Hover the right knee next to the left. Bring the right knee back. Keep the bend in the leg. Keep the ball in place if you got it. Knee higher than hip. Right hip dials down so your hips are equidistant to your mat. Now kick yourself in the bottom here. Kick, kick, kick. Little kicks. You got it. Hug the heel in toward the bottom and just hold it here and then pulse the foot up to the sky. Breathe. Deep breaths. You got it. You're strong. You're making your glutes good and strong. Let's finish. Hover the right knee next to the left. Plant the right knee down next to the left. Take the ball and place it behind the other knee. Place it down, place it behind the knee, lift it up, tuck the toes to the shin, and start doing your fire hydrant pose. Little dog or big dog, it's all good. Your hips appreciate this. Oh, move it or lose it, right? A 1-hour yoga practice, 1/24th of your day, right? But it helps you live your life better off of your mat. You've got that mobility, so you can do all those fun things like play golf and go running and walking and sightseeing. dancing and playing tennis and pickleball. Lift your leg up nice and high, pulse it up, up, up to the sky. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Finish, hover the knee next to the right knee. Send the leg back, knee to about hip height. Kick yourself in the bottom. Little teeny kicks. Dial your left hip down a little bit. You'll feel it more in your right glutes. Kick, kick, kick. Hug it in, hug the heel in good and tight. Pulse the foot up to the sky. Breathe, breathe. You got it. We'll do bird dog next. It's a balancing pose on all fours. Breathe. Finish, hover the right knee, left knee next to the right. Plant the knees down. Here comes that great feeling child's pose. Take the ball up to the top of your mat. Spread your knees good and wide. Sink your hips slowly back to your heels. Place your hands on the ball and give it a good stretch. Stretch out the glutes so you're evening out and balancing and bringing everything back to the midline after that intense fire hydrant pose and donkey kicks. Breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. And you know, you could have always taken that on a chair, using the chair like your bar. Totally fine. When you're ready, come on up. It's time for our bird dog. All right, you can use the ball or no ball at all. Place the ball under the knee if you want to. Draw the right toes toward the shin. Find your balance on this unstable surface. If the ball's inflated too much, it won't work as well. Deflate it, so it's about 60-70% inflated. Draw the toe toward the shin. Lift your left leg up, leg to about hip height. Maybe point the toes toward the back of the room. Push hard into your hands and hold on here. Left leg is lifted. You can add in the right arm if you want. Engage your strong core. Push, reach, stretch. Stretch. Spread your fingers wide, even get into the hands here. Thumb up like a hitchhiker. Breathe. Crown of your head is reaching toward the front of the room, toes pointing to the back. Your spine is elongated, it's all good. Tuck your right elbow to your left knee and then extend. Or don't, you decide what is gonna work well for you today. Hand comes down, knee comes down, we have another side. Place the ball under the other knee. Hands are down on the mat, left toes drawn toward the shin. Right leg lifts and extends. Toes are pointing today. Breathe. Hold on here. Maybe this is right where you stay. Perhaps push hard into your hands and then lift the left one. Reach, stretch, hold it. You got it. Spread your fingers good and wide. Elbow to knee. Once, twice, maybe 3 times or not at all. Stretch, reach, push into the earth. Hand down, knee down. You got it. Remove the ball. Not bad. Get your heart going though, doesn't it? Take a breath in and a breath out. Grab a drink of water if you want, and we're going to do a plank next. I love planks. Don't you, Lynn? They're rocking, right? All right, drink of water. All right, let's go. Plank. You can do this any way you like. We've talked about plank before. You can lie on your back, send your hands up to the sky, and imagine that you are in a plank, but it's inverted 180 degrees. You can take a knee plank. You can come down to your knees, work your arms forward, send your shoulders over your wrists and hold here. You can send your legs further back. You can slip down to your forearms, elbows under shoulders, and hold it here. Kick it up a notch. Draw your toes towards your shins and lift on up and hold here in a forearm plank. You can take it to a high plank, arms straight, legs long, hinge forward, hold here. You could even take that high plank and do your plank jacks, like jumping jacks. Today, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this ball, I'm going to place it between my thighs and come into a high plank. All right, with that ball between the thighs, gonna give a good strong squeeze. Let's come into the variation of plank that you want to. And Dwayne, would you set that timer, please? All right, 1 minute. There's a timer on the screen. Follow it if you want. Push into your hands, push into your arms. You're strong, you can do this. Don't give up, don't quit. Take breaks if you want, but don't stop. Hands are spread wide, that helps. You can press a little more weight into your thumb and your pointer finger. That helps alleviate the stress on the wrist. We are 37 seconds to go. Breathe in, breathe out. Hold it, lengthen. Take a break if you need. We're over halfway there. You could send your hips high to a down dog if you like. You could hinge forward and come back in the game. You could drop to your knees if you like. All good, all fine. 15 seconds to go. Push hard into the earth. Squeeze that ball. Don't give up. Don't quit. Less than 10 seconds. Hold on. Less than 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are done. Come on down. All right. How did you do? However you did, however long you did, it's A+. You just gotta try, and that is good enough. All right, bring the ball between your knees as you have a seat. Ball is between your knees. Come on down to recline. Hands to prayer center, all the way down. Arms down by your sides. Squeeze the ball between your thighs. When you're ready, lift the ball, or lift your legs. Knees in line with your ankles. Toes drawn towards your shins. Shoulders away from the ears. Pulse it in here. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Now point your toes. Bring your ankles to touch. Dip your toes down the midline. Bring them up. Turn a little bit to the right. Let your knees come down. Tee out your arms. Come back to center. Toes dip down. Knees come up. Let the knees dip to the left side of your room. Back up. Toes dip to the center. Then take them to the other side. Breathe. Back to center. Other side. Back up. Down. Up. Down. You got it. Breathe. How are you doing? Strong core. Don't give up. Don't quit. Let's finish up and come back to the center. Place your feet down. Take the ball between your ankles now and send your legs long. Stick pose. Even and balance everything out. Palms touch. Reach high overhead. Toes point long. Ooh, feel that in your hip flexors. That lunge is going to feel really good today. Tee out your arms again. Palms face up or down, whatever you like. Lift your legs up to the sky with that ball and then lower them down. Lift and lower. You know, you could put a bend in your knees if that feels better. And if this just isn't working, put one leg down, forget the ball. Lift one leg up, bring it on down. Lift the other leg up and bring it on down. Then maybe both legs without the ball. You know, you'd work it. So you're getting this nice leg lift. Breathe. Legs lift. Now let's lift them up and then bend the knees and shoot the heels out at 45 degrees. Bring them on down. Lift them on up straight. Bend your knees. Shoot the legs out 45 degrees and come on down. Up to the sky. Bend the knees, out to 45, and bring them down. Lift, strong core. Don't you love Joseph Pilates? Don't you love the poses that he introduced us to strengthen our core? Breathe. Let's finish. Bring the feet on down. Let's do a boat pose. You can remove the ball, or you could bring the ball behind your low back. Lean on back to the ball. Arms reach toward the front of the room. You can have the soles of your feet on your mat or lift them up. Lift your feet up and hold behind your thighs. Send your shoulders back. Back is nice and straight, and hold it here on this ball. Kind of an introduction to your boat pose. If you like, you can ditch the ball. Lean on back like you're in a recliner. Legs lift, hands behind your thighs. Remove your hands, send them high, low, whatever. Bring them to prayer center. Bend your knees and row your boat left, right, left. All good. After rowing your boat, crisscross at the ankles, hug your knees in, fold forward, hinge forward, pop up onto your toes. Nice little ball here. Pose is called Cosmic Egg. Plant your feet, another Pilates move. Legs go long, recline. Maybe hands to prayer center. Tell yourself something positive about you every day. Find a little mantra that you can say. Look yourself in the mirror. Say, I am strong, I am healthy, I am improving, I am growing, I am beautiful, whatever you want it to be. But say something positive to you. Arms down by your sides. You know where this is going, Rosemary. Arms down by your sides. We'll do the Pilates 100s. All right, take it your way. Hands lift and act as if you're patting the ground. Maybe shoulders lift a little bit more. Think of your fingers being pulled toward the bottom of your mat. Stay right here and do this. Maybe you lift your legs up and hold it here. The idea is pat the ground 100 times, but we're gonna do it to what feels good for us. Feel the tension in the core. Lift the legs, maybe higher, maybe lower, you decide. Shoulders, maybe higher, maybe lower, you decide. Pat, pat, pat the ground, breathe. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the number. Don't count, just do to what feels good. Then do a few more. You got it. Keep going, don't quit, shoulders down away from the ears. When you're ready, we will say, this is enough. When you're ready, come on down. Stick pose, arms go high, toes point, wiggle. Breathe in, breathe out, there you go. All right, let's press on up or don't press up. Sit up, good and strong. Find your 2 blocks. Let's find the 2 blocks and have the weights nearby. Place the blocks by your sides. We're gonna do a lunge. Bring your right foot forward, knee over ankle. Left leg, scoot it long, push into those blocks. Scoot the leg long, put a towel under the back knee if that's what feels right. Nice big stretch in the left front hip flexor. Knee over ankle. Lift your arms up if you want, or keep them on the blocks. Breathe. Maybe take a tiny back bend, sending your fingers to the back of the room. Maybe hands back to prayer center. The key is in this left hip here. You really want to stretch it out. Send that back left foot longer. Breathe. Hands back to your blocks. Start to surf. Straighten the right leg, then rebend the right leg. All right, so maybe you walk with the blocks back a little and then come forward. Maybe you walk with the blocks even further back and sit on your heel. Use those blocks. Why not? Breathe, stretch. Use the blocks or don't use the blocks. There you go, work that core again. Come back and lift and let that knee of the right leg come forward to the ankle as you deepen the stretch. Back and forth. And if you're trying the hands and it's not quite working, use your hands another way. Bring them down like a kickstand and then walk them up and then walk them back. Remember, what you want to feel is a nice stretch in that left hip, and you're also getting the benefit of moving these knees. All right, let's go back to the starting position. Hold on here for just a second. Right leg is firm on the ground. Use your blocks, reintroduce them. Push on up and send your left leg high. Send it high, point the toes and pulse it. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Hold on here, little bend in your right knee. Might feel super good. And then finish. Bring the left leg down to meet the right. Step it back, big and strong with the right leg. Come on down, use your blocks. Straighten that right leg, good and long, because that's what's gonna give you that good stretch. Left knee over your left ankle. Blocks down, breathe. Stretch it out. Maybe you stay right here. That's still a huge, intense stretch. Maybe shoulders over the hips, maybe arms lift, maybe a baby back bend. Maybe hands back to prayer center and tell yourself that good thing. Maybe hands back to the blocks. Feel what you feel. What's going on right now? You should feel a massive stretch in that right front part of your hip. Now, let's start to surf. Straighten and bend and rebend the left leg. All right, think about it. Think of how much you sit. We all sit too much, but don't be like that truck driver. We all sit way too much, and these hip flexors get tight. Because think about it, they're compressed when you're sitting. We are stretching them out here. We are stretching them out good and strong. When that left knee comes forward, big stretch there. Walk it back, perhaps to your heel. You do what feels right. Okay. Maybe, you don't use the blocks. You just use your hands, however feels good for you. Just enjoy that stretch. Enjoy the bend of those knees. Use your hands however you need. We're gonna go to that half splits again. All right, come forward. Left knee over left ankle. Reintroduce your blocks. Press into your blocks. Let's send the back right leg high as you straighten the left. Lift the leg up and pulse it up. A little bend in your left knee. Feels generous and full of self-care. Enjoy that. Pulse it up. Pulse it up. We're gonna do warrior 3 in a little bit. So you're gonna be doing the same thing with your legs. So just, you're warming up here with it. Place your right foot down to meet your left. When you're ready, find your weights. All right, come on up to standing with your weights in your hands. All right, the lunge we just did. Let's do a curtsy lunge with these weights. All right, so good. Anything cross body is good for your brain. Let the right foot come back like you're gonna curtsy, right? And then bend into it a little bit. Let your weights be down by your sides so you can get your stability. Just bend in the knees. Hold on, it's more easily said than done. All right, keep pulsing. Maybe add in the weights. Turn your palms toward the front of the room. Lift and lower the weights. While your bottom is curtsying, working those knees, the back knee toward the earth. Lift and lower the weights. Doing your little bicep curls here. Strong legs. You got it. Breathe. You're dynamic. The word of the day. Think energy. Think effective action. Oh, this is effective. Think vigorous. Think forceful. Think energetic. And full of life. There you go. Arms down by your sides. Legs meet. Curtsy in the opposite direction. Right foot forward. Left foot back. So you're on the ball of that back foot. Put a bend in the knees. I'm going to turn a little bit more so you can see more of the curtsy. Which way should I go? I guess like this. How's that? All right, get comfortable here. Arms down by your sides. Helps to ensure that your shoulders are over your hips and start to bend the back knee. So you're pulsing up and down, little teeny pulses. Bring your hands forward and start to curl the weights up with your bicep curl. Legs on fire? Yes, they are. Breathe. Pulse. Curtsy. How are you doing? Focus forward. You got it. Don't quit now. You didn't come this far to quit. You're rocking it. A few more. You're stronger than you think. Just a few more. Just a few more. And then let's finish. Weights down by your sides. Left leg meets right. Ooh, are they shaking or what? Fold forward. Fold forward. Let the weights hang toward the earth. Breathe in. Breathe out. Stretch it out. Take your ragdoll pose. Feet about hip width distance apart. Put the blocks aside. Hands to opposite elbow creases. Your head is important here. Crown of the head toward the earth. Chin tucked toward your chin. Chin tucked toward your chest. Little bend in the knees. Sway side to side. Let it feel awesomely wonderful and good. Finish. Come back to the midline of your body. Find your weights. Roll your spine up one vertebra at a time. Come on up to a standing position. The weights. Let's bring our arms forward. Down by your side. The weights are down by your hip creases. Arms are facing forward. Let's go back to those bicep curls. But this time, you're standing rock solid. Breathe. Breathe. You're working your biceps, maybe one weight at a time. Try not to get momentum going. I see a lot of guys go, huh. Don't. You don't want momentum. You're going to hurt your back. You want to be in control when you curl it up, and you want to be in control when you bring it down. Get that full range of motion going. Breathe. Breathe. There are your bicep curls. You got it going on. Let's bring the weights to our shoulders. Let's let our elbows go out to the sides. Let's lift our weights up to the sky and bring them back to your shoulders. Palms face in towards your ears. Lift and lower, same thing here. You could do one at the time or do them both at the same time. Breathe. Chest is lifted. Your arms are strong. You got it. Lift and lower. Let's take these arms, let's lift them high to the sky and then let them float down. Arms extended, let them float down to shoulder height. Let them float back up. Float down to shoulder height and float back up. A few more and then we're gonna pulse it. Lift and to shoulder height. Remember, you are in control here all the way up and all the way down. Don't think of the coming down as a free ride. Bring it up and bring it down. Arms are teed out. Pulse them up, up, up to the sky. Little bend in your elbows might feel better. Pulse them up, pulse them up. Breathe. Eyes can be closed or open, your call. Flip your hands so your palms are face down and pulse, pulse, pulse. Pulse them down. You got it. Strong shoulders, strong arms, strong upper back, good posture. Let's take these weights and let's do You Will Look Taller. Lift the weights up, bring them to the shape of a letter Y. Maybe your legs zip up a little bit more. You, big letter W, elbows come down. Oh, those weights help bring the elbows down. Shoulders away from the ears. You will. Now 2 L's, hug the elbows in, look, tee out your arms, pulse your arms to the back of the room. You will look taller, strengthening the upper back and all those muscles along your spine. Do it again. You will look terrific. After you do this, pulse the hands out, out, out. You got it. Lift the arms up to the sky, bend the elbows, bring the weights behind your head, and then let's lift them here. Nice stretch on the triceps, the under part of your arms. Breathe. You got it. Do this every day. Try it out. See what you think. At least do your yoga every day. We do something different every single day. And it's all good. It's all designed to work together to make you stronger, more flexible, more mobile. How are you doing here? Let's finish up. Lift the weights high. Let's let them float down by our sides. We're going to do those triceps again by coming into a balancing pose called Drinking Bird. All right, bend in the knees. Shoulders are over your hips as best you can. Bend in your knees. Maybe pop on up to the balls of your feet. Adjust your feet so you feel comfortable and secure. Little teeny pulses here. Pulse, 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 weights down by your sides. Pulse nice and low, bring it a little bit lower and hold it here. Hold it here, let's bring the weights with a bent elbow up toward the armpits and then send them back. Now you can continue to pulse. Pulse the hands to the back of the room, pulse through the feet as well. And if you fall out, no big deal. Come down to your feet, maybe stay there for a bit, then pop on back up. Work it, work it. Pulse the arms in. The weights are pulsing in towards your low back. Your chest is lifted, your gaze is forward. Feel the opening through your chest. Feel the lift in your chest. That's a good thing. And breathe, breathe. Pulse the weights again to the back of the room. Pulses in the legs, breathe. If you fall out, no big deal. Regroup and get right back in. Breathe. Maybe come higher on the toes. Breathe. Pulse the weights in, again, again, again. You got it, you got it. Finish. Plant the feet. Let the arms hang down by your sides. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. When you're ready, fold forward and let's place the weights down on your mat. While you're folded forward, look back to your knees. Hold on to your calves. Little bend in your knees. Fold here. Belly button to the spine. When you're ready, roll the spine up, one vertebra at a time. Horse pose. Spread your legs wide. Bring your heels in a little bit, legs as wide as you want them to be, and sit down like you're seated on a Clydesdale. Drive the outsides of your knees more open. Hands to prayer center, shoulders over your hips. That makes a difference. Hold right here and pulse, pulse, pulse. Down, 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 down. Maybe come up onto the balls of your feet and pulse. Good song for the pulsing, right? Pulse, pulse, pulse. Stay with it. Pulse one heel down, then the other. You got it. We're not going to stay here for the whole song, I promise. Pulse. One heel touches down, then the other. Come high onto the balls of the feet. Pulse lower to the bottom. You got it. When you're ready, plant your feet. Arms go high overhead. 5-pointed star. Wiggle your hips. You know what? Be thankful for all you've got. Make the most of every opportunity. Bring your feet together to touch. Let's go into a downward facing dog. Hinge forward. Look back to your knees. Walk your hands forward. Press into your hands, press into your feet. Your body now looks like an inverted V. Tailbone high to the sky, heels lifted, pedal them out. Spine is loose, neck is loose, shake it. Let your gaze be back towards your knees or try to look up towards your belly. Let your head hang heavy. Pedal, breathe, finish, still your feet. Hinge forward, take your little teeny bear plank. Hug the knees right above the earth, shoulders over your wrists, hold to strengthen your core. Come on down to your knees. All right, so how are you doing? Have you had a drink? Have a drink. Take a pause. All right, let's go into a seated forward fold, then a wide-legged forward fold, then a starfish plank. Oh boy. All right, legs long, toes up toward the sky, arms lift. Reach your arms forward, reach, reach, reach. Reach toward your toes, your calves, whatever you can reach. Hug the elbows in, let your gaze go down toward your knees. Maybe you don't go very far. Totally okay. Someday you will get farther. You just need to stick with it. Don't push it, just stick with it. Feel the stretch in the low back. If your hands are on your feet, like if you got your wrists draped over the tops of your toes, push your feet into your hands and stretch out your low back a little bit more here. Come on back up, shoulders over hips, send your legs wide. You can grab your block or blocks, bring them between your legs. We're not gonna be here long unless you want to. You can stay longer. Knees spread wide, little bend in the knees if you want. Blocks in front of you, bring your forearms down to them. You can put them at any height you want, or bring your forehead down to the blocks. Breathe, lengthen your arms to the top of the room. Hold on here, strengthen those adductor muscles, stretch them out inside your thighs. When you're ready, if you're ready, maybe that feels really good, you want to stay there. Stay there if you want. I'm going to grab my weights. Eye shade and towel up near your shoulders for final Shavasana. Come on down to your shoulders. Come on down to your shoulder. Right shoulder over right elbow. Right forearm parallel to the top of your mat. Bend your knees, these clamshell. We'll do clamshells first, then we'll do our side plank. A weight or two or no weights at all are on your bent knees. Knees together, ankles together. We're gonna keep the ankles together as we start to lift that top leg. So think of a clamshell, right? Lift and lower. Kick it up a notch, lift the ankles, and lift and lower. Here you go, clamshell pose. You got it. Clamshell's gotta be followed by starfish, right? All right, let's do that while we're on this side. Bring your knees together, remove the weights, keep your forearm down. Now, press on up, straighten your legs, press on up, and have your legs nice and straight. Arm can lift, and you can stay right here in your forearm side plank. To do that starfish pose, you will come down to your bottom knee, lift your left leg up, and the arm lifts too. So you kind of sort of look like a starfish. All right, you do the variation that speaks to you right now. Let's come to the other side. Bring those weights or not. You can say, oh, I forgot them. Oh, well. All right, same thing. Shoulder over wrist, forearm parallel to the earth. 2 weights, 1 weight, or no weights. Start to lift that leg up, up, up to the sky. Breathe. Ankles are zipped shut, and you can lift them up too. Breathe, breathe. You're strong and getting stronger. Stick with it. Maybe you do it twice, then decide to remove a weight or 2. No big deal. Nobody's judging you. Don't be hard on yourself. Let's finish here. Come on down. Take your choice. Forearm side plank, legs go long, pop on up, arm goes high, and hold it here. You can come down and be on that bottom knee. Lift the right leg up and lift the arm up too for your starfish pose. Breathe. Let's come down to our bellies. Come down to your belly. Let's do a swimmer pose, another Pilates move. So come on down to your bellies. Arms go long like an extended child's pose. Nose, chin, forehead down to your mat. When you're ready, Superman. Let's do that first. Lift one leg or the other. Get used to that. Maybe lift both legs. Lift one arm or the other, or some combination thereof, and fly like Superman as you balance here. Start to kick your feet and swim. Breathe. Finish. Bring your hands under your collarbones. Press on up to a seal pose. Soften in your glutes. Press on up to standing on your knees. Once you're standing on your knees, find a block. You can place the block to the outside of your right ankle. We'll do that side first. Place your hands at your low back. Push your belly forward. Take this little gentle camel pose. If you would like, take your right hand and find that block. at its nice high height. Lift your left arm up to the sky, and then maybe let the left fingers go to the back of the room. Nice stretch here, hips are both forward. Rise on up, back to the center. Bring the block to the outside of the other leg. Hold it, keep it there. Press your hips forward. Squeeze your elbows to back. Maybe find that block on your left side. Lift your right arm high. Find that block, be comfortable there in the security of the foundation. Maybe reach your arm back, 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 and finish. Come back up, shoulders over hips. Tee out your arms nice and wide. Turn to the right. So you can like high five the front of the room. Turn. When you're ready, come back, then turn again and twist. Come back to the midline, hands to prayer center. Come on down to your mat. Put your blocks aside. Let's come on down and let's send our legs up to the sky. So as you're making your way down here to your seat, hands to prayer center, that positive comment, put it in your head. Recline all the way, arms down by your sides, legs long. One leg up to the sky. Start to draw little circles with the toes of that leg. You could tee out your arms if you feel more balance there. So draw a circle with one leg and circle with the other. Send the right leg down, and you're gonna do the same with the left. Lift the left leg, point the toes, circle, circle, circle. Circle the other direction. Circle, circle, circle. Legs come down, both legs come down, heels meet, both legs lift, point your toes and draw some circles here. How does this feel on your low back? Keep at it. Maybe circle it in the other direction. Piper has a dog ball that's really hard rubber, but not too hard rubber. Kind of compresses a little bit. That feels good under the low back too. Just don't put it on your spine. Put it at your low back and rock and roll on it if you have one. It feels really good. All right, both legs are lifted. Keep them here. Now draw your toes towards your shins. Hold on tight here. Think of lifting your hips up. Just a little, like quarter inch. Think of lifting your hips up to the sky. And then let's finish. Soles of your feet come down. Let's do bridge. Push your hips high to the sky. Nice equal stretch in the hip flexors. Breathe. Take a big breath in and a big breath out as you roll your spine down slowly but surely down to your mat for your final Shavasana. Legs go long, heels to the bottoms of your mat. Arms down by your sides, palms down or palms up. Cover your eyes with your eye shade or your little hand towel. Block out the light. Arms down by your sides. Breathe in. Sigh it out, let it go. Soften the area between the eyebrows. Soften in your glutes. Soften your shoulders away from the ears. Sigh it out, let it go. If you have your remote nearby, now would be a perfect time to hit pause and stay and enjoy this resting pose as long as you like. Then when you're ready to conclude your practice, all you got to do is hit play again, and we'll meet you right here. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, reach high overhead and take a big good morning stretch. Maybe point your toes again. Stretch. Exhale, bend your knees and your elbow, roll onto your favorite side and rest your head on the bicep of that low arm. Top shoulder is soft, eyes are closed. Savor this moment. This is an opportunity for you to praise yourself for showing up on your mat. Take a deep breath in and your deep breath out. Press on up, but be conscious of what you're doing. Are you going to use your hands or not? You decide what you want to do. Hands or not. Go ahead and crisscross your legs. And when you're ready, bring your hands to a prayer center position. Eyes can be closed or opened. You decide. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Gently blink your eyes open. How are you doing? How did you do? You did an hour-long yoga practice. We took a stress number in the beginning. What was it? Come back to it, and what is it now. It's lower. You feel better in your head. You feel better all the way around. You feel like you can conquer the world when you get off your mat after you've done your yoga. You really can. So as you go on with the day, let your conversations be always full of grace and kindness. That will allow you to keep that yoga spark going as you stay fired up all day long. See you on your mats tomorrow. From us to you, much love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Bye, guys. Love you. See you tomorrow. Bye. You startled me. You got up earlier than usual, huh? And you barked. What's up? What's up? Bye. You're still here, and I'm really glad for that. Keep this in mind. The path is made through repetition. Keep showing up, and good things will happen. You know that. I'm glad that you're still sticking around. Tell your friends what the yoga's doing for you. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody on Facebook and YouTube, and they can join in anytime from the privacy of their own home. Tell them about our practice, please. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Stay on your path, enjoy your yoga, and have a great rest of your day. See you on your mats tomorrow.